What's good, guys? Sal Talks Tech, and today we're going to be talking about what you should be doing prior to the end of your bootcamp, or like kind of midway towards the end of your bootcamp, so that way you get the most success once you graduate out of your bootcamp. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And if you guys aren't familiar with what a bootcamp is, go check out my last video. I have a software engineering bootcamp review of one that I went to called General Assembly. You guys can go check that out. I'll link it right up top here. Or if you haven't checked out my last video on software engineering bootcamp tips to get through your bootcamp, I will also leave that down in the description for you to go check out. So one of the top things that you want to do when you are in bootcamp is to build and refine your portfolio. Your portfolio is going to be like your baby. It's like the evidence of what you've been doing. So this is something that you can really take with you, and you can always show off. You can always build on. It's going to show your growth and your expertise as a software engineer. This is one of the most important things. Make this portfolio something that's very, very special to you. Put all your contact information on there, all your links and your LinkedIn profile and everything that you can on this. Like I said, this is going to be your baby. This is the most important thing. This shows everything of who you are as a software engineer. So I can't tell you how important it is to continuously building on your portfolio, updating it, making it look nice. Another thing that you guys want to set up even before the end of your software engineering bootcamp is to optimize your LinkedIn profile. That was one of the biggest things for me getting a job right outside of my software engineering bootcamp, was setting up my LinkedIn profile before the class even ended. I was reaching out to people, I was connecting with people, putting all my job experience on there, adding the skills, taking the little test that they had. I was putting up my projects on LinkedIn, asking for feedback, making sure it looked right, because maybe a job doesn't open up, right when you graduate, but in a month or two, you never know. And somebody might remember your posts or remember you from a tech group of a project that you might have put up, and they might need something along that expertise of that project that you put up. So maybe they might reach back out to you and hit you up. You know what I was doing? I was going on LinkedIn and I was looking for other people that took the software engineering bootcamp that I took, the General Assembly bootcamp. And I was just connecting with all of them because all those people come from the exact same experience as me. They are all graduates of the same bootcamp, and they all have the same experience trying to graduate from a bootcamp to getting into a tech job. Like, they all know how it is. So it's like, why not reach out to them? Why not let them be the first connections that I had? And before my bootcamp even ended, I had at least over like 500 followers, I want to say. The best way to get a job is through networking. Another tip I want to share with you guys is to start doing your freelance work as soon as possible. You don't have to be a pro software engineer to do freelance work. There are so many things that you can do as a freelancer. As long as you're just a little bit better than somebody else, you can start freelancing. As soon as you graduate, you should be starting freelancing. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be doing small CSS fixes for a website. It can be creating custom themes on WordPress. It can be cleaning Excel sheets. It can be mentoring. Any of these things that don't really involve a ton of super expertise knowledge. You don't have to know how to build a website from scratch. All you have to know is the little things. So build a niche, get really, really, really good at that niche, and just start small. Going this route will allow you to see how it's like to do software engineering as a business, use it to make money. And when you're making money from it, it makes it 10 times better. It makes you want to learn more. And on top of that, you start building these relationships with these clients that you work with. And these clients may come back looking for you again in a future project, or they might refer you to somebody else. It allows you to network more, which goes back on my second topic, that networking is really all you need. So continue to focus on your skills so that they will end up making you more money. See, a lot of people think that freelancing is like super complex and you need to be able to build a website from scratch, a super crazy website from scratch. And it's not that. You can start very, very small and get clientele that way, doing very small things. On Fiverr, you can go look up simple CSS fixes. You can start a gig on Fiverr or on Upwork for like 10, 5, 15 bucks and just start small, working with like a bunch of different clients. And that way, after you've done those gigs and you've gotten really, really, really good at those gigs, now you can move up a little step. You can have it so that way you're fixing more complex things and you can boost your price up a little bit, and your clientele will start to grow a little bit more. Your relationships will start to expand. But don't hold off on this. Start your freelancing as soon as you get out of your software engineering bootcamp. I know it might be scary at first, but the more you do it, the more you're going to get the hang of it. and the easier it will become. And another thing to build off of that, you can also contribute to open source, either through GitHub or tons of other networks that you can use. And these kinds of things help you exponentially. You meet new people, you're able to collaborate, you're able to learn things from people that you may have never knew working by yourself or working on the job. And again, it's all about networking. You're expanding your knowledge, your expertise to other people. Now other people know that you can do a job for them. They know that you can do something. On top of it all, you're gaining experience and you're showcasing your work. And you're also building a reputation for yourself as a software engineer. And to go one step further on that, you can also do volunteer work, and volunteering is huge because again, you gain that experience and you're able to showcase your work. There are plenty of places that do volunteer work for software engineering. If you built a website for somebody as a volunteer, you're able to put that onto your portfolio and showcase that work off to future employers that you might apply to. There are plenty of different ways to showcase your expertise and to continue building experience even after your software engineering bootcamp. Another huge tip that I recently actually just found out is attending networking events and meetups. And what I mean by that is there's tons of different ways that you can also do this. Also, there are hackathons, developer meetups, tech conferences. There are plenty of different ways that you can just be around tech people in general and learn from them, grow from them, network with them, and just share ideas and continue learning. One of the best things I found out is that these people are also on the job hunt, or they are looking for people. They are looking for talent. So these are the best places to learn and showcase your abilities again, because you never really know where or what that next opportunity is. So as long as you're in that space of technology and you're going to these conferences, you might meet somebody that says, hey, I recognize your work from so-and-so, or you talked about a really, really great point today. How do you know about this technology? And it might come down to a point where they're like, wow, you're really knowledgeable about this subject and we're looking for somebody with that talent. Would you mind sending us an application? So again, just the networking portion of it. There are so many ways to be able to network with people, especially in tech nowadays. It is mind-boggling. So don't be scared, get in there, even right after your boot camp, and just start networking with people. Now, my next tip is for something that really, really help me, but it may be for some people, it may not be for some people, and that is blogging. I actually started up a blog about a year ago, and the blogging has actually helped me become a better developer because I'm able to write my ideas down and not only teach, but again, refresh my memory about all the steps that it takes to break down these certain topics that I'm talking about. And it's just been a really super big help for me. If you guys didn't know I blog, I'll leave my blog website down in the description. Go check it out. I have tons of free blogs and resources for tons of different software engineering related things, especially if you're just graduating a bootcamp and you're looking for more. I'm gonna leave that blog down in the description. Go check it out. Not only am I learning from my blogs that I'm rewriting, editing, I'm also learning a ton of different things. I use WordPress to build my blogs, which has gotten me more into like PHP, file management, database management. I'm learning about web hosting, SEO. I didn't know what SEO stood for until I started blogging. It's just been a super big help to me. Now there's more things to look up, more things to practice on, more things to build my strengths on. And it's just been a personal goal for me. So I wanted to shout that out just in case anybody else is looking for something that could inspire them. Next tip is to prepare for your interview. Now, preparing for your interviews can mean two things. The big companies like to use data structures and algorithms. There's a couple ways that you can practice that. Two websites for sure, LeetCode and HackerRank. There's a book called Cracking the Coding Interview. This is the book right here. It's a big one. Book has over 180 different problems. It has helped millions get jobs in Google, Facebook, all the FAANG companies. Very, very, very good book. Another way of interviewing is for somewhat smaller companies. Smaller companies like to interview a more traditional way. There's multiple interview stages. One way that you can practice is just by talking to one of your peers or your brother or sister, your significant other, and just have them ask you questions about tech stuff. But one of the things that's always asked is, tell me a little bit about yourself. So you can just start there. Just practice answering that question alone. And you never want to shy away from an interview. Take the interview as a learning process. And also during the interview, take this time to work on communication skills. Take the interview to work on yourself. Even if you completely mess up during the interview process, it's okay because you've now learned from that. And now you can go into the next interview process with a little bit more preparation on what they might ask you and be able to kill it next time and be able to get that job. All right, another huge tip that I want to give you guys is to seek mentorship. When you are out there networking, you want to find somebody who knows exactly where you're trying to be, who knows exactly what you're trying to learn. In tech or in software engineering, finding that mentor that is willing to sit down with you and teach you things and give you advice on how to be successful can never be replaced. It is the easiest and best way to go from a beginner to advance. And you don't have to be like a tail to your mentor. You're just asking for advice here and there. That's what I used to do. I used to just come up with a project or an idea, just ask my mentor like, hey, what do you think about this? That's all a mentor is. It's somebody that knows a little bit more than you. So go out and find that person, get their number, get their email, and just talk to them. Ask them for advice and just be willing to learn. The knowledge that a good mentor can give you is irreplaceable. Last but not least, my final tip is going to be to apply to jobs as early as possible. Like I said before, you want to start applying before you even graduate the class. Your LinkedIn should be ready. You should be applying to jobs every single day, even before graduation. A lot of employers are looking for people that are graduating boot camp or graduating somewhere, and a lot of these companies may be flexible with the start time. So it's okay, you can be honest with them and be like, I'm still in my boot camp. We're learning full stack software engineering. We're using React and Node to build full stack applications, but I don't graduate until another month. And some employers will say, okay, that's great. That's when we're expecting to hire. Even if you feel like you don't ready, again, going back to my last point, you can use these interviews as practice for when you feel like you are ready and you can start going out there and applying. You also want to apply to junior roles and internships. About a month or two after I graduated from my first boot camp, I got an internship, and that internship was making me more money than the full-time job I had while I was in the bootcamp. Junior roles and internships are typically looking for more fresh software engineers. These kind of roles are perfect for people just getting out of software engineering bootcamp. You don't really know where your niche is and you want to explore a little bit more. These are the perfect roles to start applying for. These roles offer tons of flexibility. They're much easier to land interviews for than full-stack software engineering role or senior developer role or something along those lines. Start targeting the junior developer or the internship roles, especially at like tech startups, because these roles will offer a ton of versatility for you and allow you to explore your options a little bit better. And that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any further questions, advice, or comments, leave it down in the comment section. I'll be sure to check them out. Thank you for stopping by and watching the video. I appreciate y'all. Good luck to everybody. Tal Talks Tech. I'm out of here. Peace.